Good evening, all of you. I'm Deepa Khatri, Deputy Director at ICSI. On behalf of the Institute, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the viewers at this webinar on launch of LLP modules in MCA21-V3. As you are already aware that Ministry has launched its LLP module in MCA-V3 few days back, we are aware that there may be certain teething issues in every new venture. The Ministry is leaving no stone unturned and taking every effort for smooth transition of MCA V2 to V3 project. So in this step, the Ministry has already invited feedback from the professionals through Google Forms and have immediately started working on such issues. Another step is organization of the webinars. So the objective of this webinar is to clarify all the issues pertaining to new launch, which the Ministry has received till date, and also to take more and more queries through this webinar, which are faced by the stakeholders. So we also expect from the professionals to share the correct feedback so that such issues can be resolved on immediate basis. So for this today, this webinar, we have with us the technical experts from Ministry of Corporate Affairs and as well as the LTI team. We have the team from e-governance cell of MCA headed by Mr. B. Shri Kumar, Joint Director MCA. We welcome you, sir. The team is actively involved in successful implementation of LLP project and involved in the transition of MCA V2 to V3 project. We have with us LTI team, which is headed by Shri Rohit Bhattji. We welcome you, sir. Now I would like to invite Shri B. Shri Kumarji for his address.
Thank you, Deepa ji, for those nice words. Good evening, everyone. So as you all aware that recently we have migrated from V2 to V3 portal for LLP functionality. So initially there are some technical glitches for which our LTI team constantly trying to fix those issues. And we invite each and everyone to submit their queries or feedbacks or any issues, whatever they are facing through the Google link, which will be provided by Ms. Deepa of ICSI. So kindly share those inputs. So that will be helpful for us for resolving all those issues. Basically, the main changes where the stakeholders are getting confused or with regard to login registration in MCA portal, creation of login ID, and association of DSC as well. So I request Mr. Rohit Bhatt from LTI and all his team members to kindly go ahead with the presentation and enlighten all our members of ICSI and other stakeholders how to come out from these types of technical issues. Over to Rohit ji. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa ji. Thank you, Shri Kumar sir. Hello, this is Rohit. I'm representing here from LTI. And although we had done many of the sessions earlier, what is getting launched, however, while we have launched this LLP module of V3 along with login registration, what we have seen that there are a lot of questions that we are receiving, and with these webinars that we are scheduling, we'll make sure that we are giving enough awareness on each of the services that have been launched in this release. And we also wanted to make sure that we reach out to each one of you to understand your issues and try to fix those problems. The other important thing is also that since this is a new system altogether, there will be some issues, and we need ICSI's team support to make sure that we stable this application altogether. There will be some teething issues, but trust me, we are really working hard day and night to make sure these issues are getting resolved, and there should be a seamless filing happening on this LLP portal. However, there have been some of the modules that Shri Kumar sir was mentioning. We are trying to go through one by one each of the modules. So today, what we are trying to do is we are just focusing on two topics. One is the login and registration, which has been completely moved into V3, which is the new system altogether. Also, we are also discussing here the DSC association is the other hot topic that is going on, and we are receiving many calls on these two items where there's a support or discussion to be done. We are also reaching out one-to-one to each of the feedbacks. I think Deepaji and the ICSI team has been helping us around to create a Google form where she shares us with us the feedbacks. And we are trying, our call center or our agents are trying to call back to these users and try to understand those issues and make sure a fixing is done. So there is also a 24 cross support being created from our side to make sure we reach out to each and every one, and we are working day and night to make sure that each of the issues that or the teething issues have been raised, those are getting resolved, and there's a quick turnaround time on those issues as well. So I'll just share my presentation and I will go one by one in each of the issues that we are receiving and what is the process as of now in order to do so. I hope Deepaji, my presentation is visible.
Hanji, Hanji.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll just maximize this. So the first thing that you will see that user registration has been completely moved from V2 to V3, and there are some quick changes that has been done on the sign and sign up. So you will access this website. There's a sign up button on the top. You will just click on this, and then you will be reaching to this page. So now on this page, what is happening is there are two places, the two logins being created here, just to make sure that there's no confusion. One is the login for LLP filing and other is login for company filing. If you are doing any login for the LLP filing, which is as of now the new functionality that has been released, that will, you need to go here, click here, put your login ID here, and you will be entered. So if, let's say example, you are already a registered user with MCA in V2, you have to simply type your user ID which you are using in V2 and just log in into the system as of now. So let's say example, if my email ID or address or any phone number was not there, what it will do is it will take you to the profile page and you have to mandatorily update your details over there. So let's say example, my details in V2 are okay. I have put in all the details of phone numbers, email ID, whatever it is there to be required for the login. It will not even take you to the profile page as well. It will straight away take you to the MCA portal where you will go ahead and access your forms and start filing. So for the company filing, if you see below, the company filing can be accessed through this link, and it will be routed to the V2 page, which was earlier, and you will be actually doing login over there. So now there have been many questions that if my login ID is V2, do I need to register again on V3 to make sure that I'm able to file the forms in LLP? The answer is no. If you are already there as a registered user in V2, you have to come over here, do the login here, take you to the profile page, update your details if required, and start filing your forms. That's one. Second, let's say example, my login ID, I have created a fresh login ID here in this portal, and I wanted to go to L2 to V2 to make sure that I go to company for filing. That also is done. Second is or third is that what if I'm filing or if I'm logging in here, can I do company filing as well while logging into the website? Yes, you can do it. That's also the option there. So there's a seamless workflows being created in order to make sure the users are not getting any of the hindrances while logging in, and then taking you to the V2, taking you to the form filings, be it company or LLP. Now I'll just go through. If I am a fresh user and I want to register first on the MCA portal, you have an option here as register. You will just click on the register, and then it will take you to this page. So in this page, you have two options. Do you want to be a registered user or you want to be a business user? So if I'm a registered user, until and unless you don't select these two, the below drop downs will not work at all. So if these two options, you have to select either one of them, and then type on the drop down or click on the drop down and start filling of the details. So let's say example, I have put a registered user. Under registered user, there's always individual. There's always an individual, only one category there, where you will just select it next, and then you will take it to the next page. Fill in the personal details here, first name, whatever is mandatory, and make sure you are putting your date of birth as DDMMYY. So that is, don't type it, because otherwise these are web forms, and that is how the configuration within the system has been done. And make sure you are following the web forms. So the difference between manual to this web form is that it will give a validation in that field itself. You don't have to wait at the end or click on the next, then it will give error. In this case, in this form, it will give error in that section, in that field itself, and make sure you don't have to wait for you to get a validation there. So here what I have done is, I have just put in first the registered user. I'll just selected the individual role. I just went to the personal details. I filled all the information here. I just filled profession. I just filled other services. And once I will get this drop down when I fill all these details. So at the end, I just click on the user registration, put all the details here, all the email IDs, all the phone numbers. And then at the end, it will ask me for the password and a hint question. The hint question is very important, because this will be asked if, let's say example, if my password is, I forgot my password, I will just use this hint question to recover a password. And where forgetting a password option that you're clicking, this question you have to make sure that you remember this question, answer of this hint question, to make sure you can recover the password sometimes when you are doing it. So I'll just put my hint question here. I created my account, and it will ask me for a OTP. So if let's say example, there is a mobile number or email ID, so there will be OTPs that will be triggered to mobile ID and email ID. So or means that either one of them, whatever. So if you get phone number earlier or email ID earlier, you just pick up the OTP from there, put the OTP here, and then a pop-up message will come as a concurrent. So with this, you have successfully, got into the system, and your registration for the individual user as an individual role has been done. There's also an email. Once you do it, there's also an email that will come to you, the email which has been registered while you're registering yourself. This email will be also being, also you will receive an email like this. Make sure that there's enough confirmation done, the email ID or the login registration ID has been created. So with this, I have just come to the end on the individual role. I will go to the professional user one. So again, I will go to this. I will go to the business role, business user. So there will be two roles, two options which will be enabled. So under user role in the company, I will have company LLP. There are other roles as well. I will go one by one to each one of them. So you will put the user role here along with the income tax PAN, and then next. Similarly, you will fill in the details. What is your LLP, company name, date of incorporation? So the contact details and email ID. And then again, password, hint question. And then you will receive the email. You will receive this pop-up window where you have to put all your OTPs. Now you already have an LLP. That is the reason it is asking more questions here, because that's the system security mandates that we have done to make sure the system is secure. And these many OTPs have been put over here. Again, you will receive this kind of an email, and then it's done. So the other category within the business user in this company drop down, you will also receive the other pop-up is director user. So if a director user is coming, as we see this drop down is coming over here. So these are the drop down. I select business user. I select the director designated partner here. I will put it all the details here. I'll put all the DPINs, PAN numbers. Similarly, I will put all my details again. Contact details, user registration details, and then again OTP, and then done. So with this, again, I will receive this kind of email. So the other role that we have chosen is the professional. So under business user, there is also a drop down called professional. You will select the professional here, put your PAN details, put your membership institute, membership number, and then put in again the details. So it depends upon the category you are choosing. Based on that, the details will be asked by this application, and you will fill in all the details, your passwords, and then again same process you need to follow, the OTP, email and ID, and profile, and that's done. So I have just run you through the most category of the users, how they can create it. I would again request all the participants, if you are already registered in V2 system, I would request them, don't create a new registration within the system on the same email IDs and passwords, because they at the backend we are syncing them. The other thing is important is that it will allow you to take you, or it will allow you to go into the V3 portal, and you will simply do the filing with the same user ID that you are using in the current system. So what we have done also is, even if you have a V2 user and password, you are registering here, and then you will tell us, okay, do I need as of now the V2 username password as well. It will take you the login page of V2, and then you can do the company filing from there from while using the V3 username password as well. So as of now, there has been a smooth registrations being done. We could see numbers moving rapidly daily. We could see almost 3,000 to 4,000 people registering on this portal every day. So there is enough users already being registered based on the user role. So that is going smoothly. We don't see the issue here. The only is that there is also a user awareness that should go, and that is the reason that we are having these webinars, to make sure that we don't have any issues with the registration. The next with this user registering is profile update. So if you see, well, you log in, let's say example, I'm a V2 user, I have logged in, it will take me here, and I want to update my profile. So for the ones who are not put all the details, as I was mentioning earlier, it will take me to straight away to the profile page. If not, if you can go here, you just see under the username, hello Raina, you see a profile update option there. So you will click on profile update option. It will ask me the user category which you are in, and then you can select and save. So this is also one of the option here, that at this juncture, you can also upgrade yourself from a registered user to a professional user to a business user. All those things or changing can be done, and this is the time that you can do upgrading yourself to the business user. So I will just update myself here. I will set the add user role here. So you will see on the left hand side, the user category is the current category you have in the system. So this is the place where, let's say example, I am a business user in the system. It will tell me, okay, this is the business user. Or let's say example, I am a registered user here. It will tell me I'm a registered user here. So that option will be enabled here. On the right hand side is something that where you want to upgrade yourself. This is what I was talking about. If you wanted to upgrade here just as a professional or a business user, you can do that. Simply select it. Since this is a business user already, you won't see it on the right hand side. So let's say if I am a registered user here, you could have seen the business user on the right hand side. So that is the difference. So that this is where you could upgrade yourself from a registered user to a business user. So you'll update these details. You will receive a pop-up of congratulations, and this is done. So with this, I have come to the closure on the login and registration part of this session. Deepaji, if there are any questions on login and registration, I'm ready to take them up now. If not, we can also take DSC first, then do it, or else we can take all the questions on first the login registration, then we'll move to DSC.
Yeah, we have received the issues related to login. I'm just taking up one by one with your permission.
Yeah.
So the first one is LLP login is not working. It asked for user ID, and when we set the password for our user ID, it said to login through email ID. So what has happened to the user ID and password we used to log in?
Okay, so in the new system, the login will happen through email ID only. Okay, so let's say example, this user has already logged in through his user ID. In the next time, he has to simply type his email ID there and do the login registration here. So that is how the process is. In the new system, the login will be your email ID.
Okay. So okay. Do we need to create a separate ID for every director to associate his or her DSC? I think it is
That
related
is
to
right,
this.
and that is right, and that is, I think Shri Kumar sir can better answer this question as well. That's a mandate coming from ministry only. For each login, there should be only one DSC to be associated. Shri Kumar sir, you want to little bit brief about this?
Okay, till then we will take another question.
Okay.
Can I upload 2 forms 8 of different LLPs from the same login? They mean to say that for different companies, one has to create different login IDs, I think.
No, there's no need to different logins to be created, to be frank.
Okay. We must have tried. Would there be any change in ticket raising or issue resolving system?
No, the ticket raising system will be same as is. The numbers are there. The good part is that we have enhanced or kept our supporting hours. We have extended our hours. You can call late hours as well to make sure that your ticket is being raised and we are resolving your issue back. We are also trying to call back few of the users to make sure that we are reaching to more and more people to resolve their queries.
Okay, thanks to ministry. There are 2-3 specific issues like the one person is saying, I have registered as new business user with same email ID as that of existing registered user ID. Inadvertently, I converted existing registered user into business user with same email ID. I have tried to change email ID. System is throwing a message as PAN is already existing in the system as per ICSI records. Now, if I change the email ID login with new business user, then I cannot have access to old filings. Kindly guide.
So the best part is you need to upgrade yourself rather than creating a fresh. Don't register yourself. You can, as I mentioned, ma'am, what we have to do is simply log in into your with the older password, older login and password. Go to the profile page, upgrade yourself. So as soon as you do upgrade yourself from a registered to business, it will not throw this error later on. As of now, the system will throw error because both these portals are in sync. These are only one. So it will throw error if you are using the existing username and password. The point is you have to make sure that you will upgrade yourself with this option in the profile update page. And that is the reason I specifically mentioned this, that you need to upgrade yourself rather than creating one more user ID for yourself to do the registration with the same email ID.
Okay. Another one is I have upgraded my user ID from registered user to business user as a practicing professional of ICSI. However, after registering as a business user, I am not being able to log in into the MCA FO portal. As the FO portal keeps on reloading, the other professionals are also able to log in and do necessary filings. After clicking on the login, LLP login, the system does not move forward.
Yeah, so there may be some system issues sometime. It can be either way around, maybe network or from our side as well. I think we have received those tickets. I would request these users to call to our help desk and make sure your issues are getting noted, and we will cut back to resolution of your query there. So I would request, please follow that process. And if required, as I mentioned, for the common issues or the critical issues, we are also, while you are calling, we are also noting your phone numbers. We are making sure that we reach out to them as well to make sure to understand your issues and resolving them on a quicker or a faster turnaround time.
Okay, thanks to you. Another one is facing problem in login via old ID in LLP V3, whereas there is no issue in working as on company filing with same user ID. The error is user ID and password do not match. I have changed password and done with all the possibilities. Please help.
So please raise your as again ticket
I think
to
these
the
are
system.
the specific issues.
Yes, yes, yes. Because as I was mentioning, ma'am, we have almost maybe 2000 to 2500 people registering login in the new system every day. We are improving from 8th. The number has gone almost and it is increasing day by day. So as of now, if there are some specific issues, I would request to call our call center help desk and make sure that your ticket is logged and we'll get it resolved.
Okay. So others are related to DSC. You can please go ahead with your next thing.
Thank you, ma'am. So what has happened in the DSC is that we have also migrated the DSC from V2 to V3. Under the as we are mentioning that the DSC for a single user, there will be only one DSC now to be associated. So although it was identified and decision was taken by ministry that now from now onwards with this new rollout, there will be only one DSC being associated to each login. So what has happened is we have made this functionality as a now login functionality. So until and unless you don't log in, your DSCs will not be associated. That is one. So under where do you find that option? So if you go to after, and this option only comes after login. So you have to first log in and then start associating the DSC through my MCA services. So there are two options there, LLP e-filing and FO LLP services. If you go to FO LLP services, you find associate DSC on the 5th option. So this screen will come up. So you will select your details here. So there are instructions, enough instructions also to be done. So you have to download and install latest DSC websites instructor here. You can straight away download it from here as well. Earlier it was not there. We have made sure this is there. We are also make sure that we keep latest Embridge Build client. So you can download it from here or just you can simply take it from Google as well. Just download it from here and then start associating. Where you associate, you will find this. Once those two softwares have been downloaded into a system, you will find this pop-up. You need to select your token. You need to find your certificate details and you need to put your password. So as soon as you put all these three details, you will just register and you will receive this email. Sorry, pop-up. So once that is done, you're already received. Now what has happened is we also see that the people who are existingly registered, they try also to register again. So please don't do that. You are already registered. The system will throw you an error that you are already registered. So some people, if they wanted to validate are they registered or not, they can go and check they are registered or not by again following these processes, and the system will throw you error stating that you are already registered. You cannot register again. So that is all, ma'am, about the associate DSC part I have, and it is mandatorily made by the ministry that this is a login functionality. I will re-emphasize on this because in V2 it was not a login functionality. Now this is a completely login functionality where person has to first log in and then associate the DSC. That's all I have, Deepaji, today in this session.
Okay. So can we take some questions on DSC?
Yes, ma'am.
As well as login. There are certain login issues also with me. So the question is, DSC of my client expired. Now I want to register the same with DIN. Kindly clarify the procedure.
Expire is something different, ma'am. So expiry is first he has to make sure that he has to enable this and then associate the DSC here. So expiry, we are not talking about expiry here at least. It is only the associate DSC, Deepa, ma'am.
For company filing also, whether business user registration is mandatory?
No,
No.
ma'am. Ma'am, company
No,
filing is going to
yeah, for
V2.
company filing Spice Plus, Philip and Run form, you can do with a registered user itself, ma'am. No need for business user.
Another one is how to resubmit any form which has been sent for resubmission before the launch of new module. No option for resubmission is available besides the form under Action tab.
Yeah, so while we are migrating the users, there is also a new application history option being given on the website. I think, ma'am, we will take, as of now, we have put only these two modules in this session. We will cover with the coming up sessions the application history or the forms as well. But if you go to the application history now, which is the new option under the once you log in, you just see there are forms, the LLP forms which you have till date filed. Scroll to the right there, okay, and you will find that where the status of that form is, and you can start editing that. So all those forms which were there have been migrated in the application history. The user can find it from there.
Okay. Extend the login session from 5 minutes to at least 1 hour, where all the forms are web-based and the data cannot be saved unless all fields in the page are duly filled.
So if you are doing some activity on the website continuously, it has nothing to do login, by the way. If you are doing some activity on the website continuously for 5 minutes, it will not log you out. On the 4th minute, ma'am, you will also receive an message that you are not doing anything on the system. You will be logged out after a minute. So let's say, example, you are not taken action again. So it will take you out from the system. So that is important because there is also we have to also manage from the backend the loads. And if we keep this session alive for long, you will be there will be a lot of load coming into our system. So that's one. Second is it's also important that the system or the forms that you are updating the data, where you are updating data, make sure that you are saving the data. So in the web forms, the critical part is if I have worked upon it, and if you got a phone call or your internet has gone out, or any of these options has happened, which has has happened with you, make sure you're saving the form to make sure that the form is saved. Once it is saved, it will come to your application history and it won't be lost. That is one. Second is please make sure it is with all the, even for Word or Excel or whatever we are doing, we are saving our data there. Please make sure you save our data. But system 5 to 30 minutes, it is really cumbersome thing, and it will put a lot of load on the system, by the way.
The next one is form Run LLP was filed and the status of the same is sent for resubmission. However, under the V3 portal, no option is available to edit, modify the details and resubmit the same. Achha, I think this you have already addressed.
Yes, ma'am. And still, if there are questions, I would request to call center and get your things resolved. We have extended our hours. We have make sure that we are doing calling both sides in and out. Please make sure that you are putting your concerns there. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us to make sure your filing is happening smoothly. And we'll make sure that your concerns are getting addressed through that channel.
Okay. Another one is attachment size of 10 MB is appreciable, but there should not be individual limit of 2 MB per file being attached. LLP agreement, annual reports, etc. can't be made legible within 2 MB.
Yeah, so the check as on the system is 10 MB only. Let's say example, my file, although there's a 2 MB there, but there's no check like that. So you can attach it. That is there. You can attach it still with that. The overall should not be more than 10 MB is something. The check is on that, by the way. So if there are still concerns on this, please do call us. We'll make sure that is also enabled.
So that means there is no limit on individual uploading of 2 MB.
Yeah, there were some concerns for some of the places we have already done, but if some users are facing some specific issues on some forms, please do call us, raise a ticket. As of now, we have made sure that we have not put checks like these, so it will allow you to take up more than that as well. In some of the cases, not all. Okay. Not all.
We are not able To register DSC of company's directors, so filing is upheld. We are struggling to register as business user or registered user, and I think this is also individual issue. You have already got
Yes, ma'am.
registered
Yes, ma'am.
users. Okay. Another one is one LLP having 2 designated partners and 4 partners, but Form 3 is showing details of only 2 designated partners, and that also without showing contribution and other details. Further, this is pre-filled and not editable, non-editable, not able to file the forms for change of partners. These issues you will take today?
Yeah, again, while we're doing the forms demo later on, we can do it. But again, please raise your tickets. These are individual issues. We will address all of them through that call center channel we have. Please, I would request to keep it there. Ministry is thoroughly reviewing each and everything. Each and every ticket is being monitored to make sure your issues are getting addressed. Please make sure that you raise a issue on your help desk.
Okay. And I think this is also specific issue. The while login, they are not able to identify the city from the drop down menu. Their city is not visible to them. Not able to trace name of the partner through DIN, DPI, and number, and many more.
So, ma'am, what has happened is we have taken the PIN number as is from the post office, and that is where from their office we have taken it, the database, and database has been updated here. So, if there are some pins not available here, that means it's not there as well. So, if there are anything, we are also looking to see that we can refresh this database of these pins to make sure that most of the pins are getting properly filled. But we are trying, if in case, let's say example, you can find some pin which are nearby, you can do that as well. But if a refresh can be done, we are working towards refresh. So this is a known issue. We are working on this. We are making sure this is getting refreshed, and all the most of the pins which are there will be enabled here in the system.
Okay. We are also unable to log in, and upon logging in, name of user is shown incorrect in maybe in some of the cases.
Yes, it was some of the cases we have find it, and this has been fixed now. I hope it is not an issue now. It should come clearly. There was an issue. There was a lot of issues or the queries or the call center like these. We have addressed it. Yes. So we have made sure it is getting addressed. I don't think now we have this issue.
Okay. So MCA LTI team is working really hard on addressing all the issues. So all the professionals are advised to share their feedback, and we are sending them to Ministry of Corporate Affairs on immediate basis, and they are entirely working to resolve the issues. Another one is challan of payment made are not getting generated in track payment status. SRN shows invalid.
Okay, so for some of the places, again, this is again specific.
This is also, yeah.
It's specific, but I would request while doing the payment and when you are confirming back, please make sure your pop-up of your browser is enabled. Then only you will be able to see a pop-up screen with the payment screen. Until unless you don't see a pop-up screen being enabled, it won't come. So I would request each, and we have put it in FAQs, we have put the training materials. Please make sure your pop-up is enabled while you do the payment while filing the forms, because this is a new Bharat Kosh integration being done, which has enhanced the gateways, UPI payment, all those have been enabled. It is an extension to the users being given, and it is working very well. We have got many good appreciations on this from the users. They are really much satisfied with this. But important is while you complete the payment, please enable your pop-ups in your browser so that you can see the receipt there.
If there is, for example,
there are certain queries on specific forms like form LLP 3, form LLP 8. Can I take that?
I think we have these sessions, coming up on forms, ma'am. Today it was specifically on these two things. But the answer to this question is, if there are some questions, I would request, and I really request that we are working 24/7 for your queries to get resolved. Please raise your tickets onto the call center or help desk. We'll make sure that we'll close those tickets as early as possible so that you won't find any hindrances. I also wanted to emphasize this is a new system. I could see that there are a lot many questions, queries, and with this webinar, we are trying to address them. We have enhanced our process. We have enhanced our help desk. We are making sure our teams on the back end are working 24/7 to make sure that this is a smooth rollout of LLP MCA21-V3.
Okay. So we will take up all the queries which are related to specific forms in the later on series on this webinar series. I would request all the professionals to raise the ticket for specific issues which would really be addressed, as Rahulji has stated that they are doing, and they have increased the time for grievance redressal and all. So and also share your feedback through Google form, which is being conveyed to ministry on real-time basis, on immediate basis. So please cooperate. All the professionals are requested to cooperate on the smooth transition from V2 to V3. I think that's all for today's webinar. We would like to give now thanks to MCA team as well as LTI team of senior officers who have tried to address, and I hope they have clarified most of the issues on login and DSC registration today, and we hope that all the participants are satisfied and the queries are addressed. In case some of the queries are there which can be taken later on through this Google form and email facility. So I would like to request thanks to both the MCA team and LTI team once again.
Thank you, Deepaji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deepaji. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to actively participating in the webinars and raising more and more queries. Thank you so much.